fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm excited to be back and sitting here with Josh Taylor. Josh, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Do you know what's insane is that of all of this, like all the years, I've not interviewed you yet.
I'm not sure we've done a little bit.
No?
Not once, no? No, I don't.
No? It's always
It's
been,
the
like, for the
first
channel.
Yeah, I've done for... I'm sure I've done
Yeah, no, you have. You have done it for the
yeah.
channel, but not with me. The only time that you and I sat and talked was when we were in Russia.
Russia, yeah, that's right.
We were in
yeah,
the same,
right.
I think we're on the same flight. Or we were on the same flight and then in the same car.
At the airport, yeah, that's right.
Well, it's good to see you. I know it's odd circumstances. This is why we have a gap between us. Obviously, the world shut down. Shit got crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And here we are. How have you handled it all?
Yeah, it's been actually okay for me. I think the whole thing's actually turned out an advantage for me. I think just with the new start, the new team, new management, new promotions, everything, just brand new start. You know, started out with Ben sort of January, February time. We went out to Vegas. We were just starting to get going. Obviously, Billy Joe was in preparations for Canelo, so we were out over there. And I started doing a bit of sparring and stuff like that. And then we had to obviously come straight back home. And obviously I was home for a couple of months. But then I used that time to, you know, sort of really chill out from boxing. It's the first kind of chance since I turned professional to switch off from boxing and have a little rest. So I kind of did that for maybe a month, just chilling out, completely forgot about boxing. And then I started ticking back over again. I got the garage, I was going to say garage there. I got the garage converted in my house in a gym, so I started doing working out and getting fit and that again. And then Ben and I figured out that Spain was open for Ventura, so we got on the first flight available and went over there for a solid 5 weeks. And then you know, we spent that time, you know, gelling again, getting to know each other, and with living beside each other, we've got to know each other more personally and things like that as well. So and then we come back and straight into the gym here, so we've had that extra bit of time to get to know each other personally, you know, and what makes each other tick in the office, in the gym, you know, and you know, so yeah, it's been really good. So I think it's really worked out in my favour, to be honest. I think it's been really good and really helpful for me, actually.
Was it frustrating though, being in a situation where you're like you're constantly training and working towards something but not really having a date?
Yeah, it was. You know, obviously I was meant to be boxing on the 2nd of May, so I would have had this fight done and dusted by now, and hopefully looking on to bigger things and looking to get the other fights that are out there, the other big fights that are out there, but obviously it's not to be, so we're here and we've got to do it now. But I think it's actually worked out for the better. As I explained, you know, we've had that bit extra time to get to know each other a bit better, and you know, get to work better together, closer together. So yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah, it was. You know, obviously I was meant to be boxing on the 2nd of May, so I would have had this fight done and dusted by now, and hopefully looking on to bigger things and looking to get the other fights that are out there, the other big fights that are out there. But obviously it's not to be, so we're here and we've got to do it now. But I think it's actually worked out for the better. As I've explained, you know, we've had that bit extra time to get to know each other a bit better, and you know, get to work better together, closer together. So yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Well, we're gonna see you fight your IBF mandatory. Is it Apinun?
Apinun
Khongsong.
yeah.
Okay. I wasn't quite sure. And I know a lot of people, we want to immediately jump over to, you know, the fight with all the belts.
Yeah.
But, you know, we can't overlook, like you said, you just don't want to be in a position where you feel like you're completely dismissing what's in front of you and then getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
We know that Khongsong is no walkover. I think, you know, he has a really great knockout ratio. Talk a bit about what you've been able to sort of gather of him. And
well, yeah, he's 16-0 like myself, slightly higher knockout ratio with 13 knockouts. You know, he beat a good opponent in his last fight to become the mandatory challenger. He knocked him out as well with a cracking shot. I've seen the fight a couple of times. You know, there is limited footage out there of him, but for what I've seen, I'm very comfortable for what I've seen, and I'm very confident that he's not really going to have anything that I haven't seen before. You know, I've been all over the world as an amateur and a professional, I've seen every kind of style you can get, you can think of thrown at me, you know, in terms of like, you know, training camps, sparring camps, competitions, tournaments everywhere all over the world. So I believe I've seen near enough every style you can get thrown at me. So I don't think I'll have anything that I've never had before. So I'm very confident of that, and you know, I'm very confident from what I've seen that, you know, I've got the right game plan, the right tactics to execute, and we'll get the job done with no problems, I think.
When you get so close to something so big, I reckon it's easy to sort of want to overlook something and jump towards it and be like, oh, that's coming, that's coming. So how do you keep yourself sort of focused and not really get ahead of yourself?
Yeah, well, I'm firmly focused on Khongsong in next week. You know, it's everyone else is talking about Ramirez and this and that and going up to
How could we not though?
Yeah, I mean, going up to 147, but like, and some teams get the urge to say, stop asking me about that because I'm not thinking about it. You know, so I'm just thinking about next week. This guy is in my way. To get, for me, getting to where I want to go, so I've got to take care of him, and I'm going to make sure that I am. You know, I've got big dreams and aspirations that I want to do and achieve, so he's standing in the way of that. So I've got to make sure that I get over this, let's call it the final hurdle, I would like to imagine. You know, so yeah, I've got to get this job done and make sure I do the job. Otherwise, the dreams and ambitions are, I wouldn't say done, but certainly on hold for the foreseeable future. So I've got to make sure I get this done, and I will. Well,
let's take it back a bit, because when you were entering into season 2 of the World Boxing Super Series, you know, there was always talk that you were the favorite. I think a lot of people knew you were going to win.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, let's take a little stroll down memory lane.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a bit about what the experience was like for you? Because for a while there was so much going on in the media. The headlines were that the fight may not happen. Can you sort of just talk a bit about that?
Before the tournament you're talking about?
Well, like while you were in the tournament, there seemed to be
the Branchik fight. Yeah. I think, I don't know, I'm not too sure what it was that's happened. You know, I left that all to my management at the time. You know, it was he was threatening to pull out. I don't know, there was threats saying he wasn't getting paid and this and that, so he was threatening to pull out, and it kind of put a hold on the whole thing, which made it a little bit frustrating because I didn't know if I was going to get to fight the champion for the belt. I might have to have fought the replacement, and who would have been who I'm fighting next week.
Yeah.
So I would have to have fought him for a vacant title, and I didn't want that, especially with it being my world title shot. I wanted to fight the champion and take the belt for the champion, so it was a little bit frustrating, but I just kept the head down and kept focusing on what I wanted to do, and it was only a matter of 4 weeks or something, so it wasn't too much longer, so it was good. You know, give me that little bit extra time to get in even better shape, so it wasn't too frustrating, to be honest.
There was a lot going on between you and Regis Prograis.
Yeah.
Do you not like him?
No, I do like him.
You do?
I do like him. Yeah, I don't know why people think that. Actually, I've got a lot of respect for him. You know, I think he's a very good fighter. You know. Yeah, cool guy as well outside the ring, you know. So.
Do you think he likes you?
I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. But my personal opinion, I think he's pretty cool. You know, I think he's a pretty cool guy. I watch him on his social media doing all sorts of stuff, like he's into motorbikes. I'm into motorbikes myself, and doing all sorts of activities. You know, like sort of like pretty adrenaline kind of filled guy as well. So it's kind of what I'm like myself. So yeah, he seems a pretty cool guy. Yeah. So
I was stalking your Instagram account the other day, your stories, and that was supposed to be funny, by the way. So I'm just kidding. So I noticed something about you that I didn't see before, and that was you're showing a lot more of your personality.
Yeah.
What changed?
I don't know. I don't really think anything's changed in me. It's just I feel
because you weren't putting it out there.
Yeah, I just feel dead uncomfortable talking into a camera, and you know, I feel a bit like an idiot and out of my comfort zone doing it. You know, I always and in the 4 videos that I was doing, it took me about 10 takes to get it right and do it right. So that's probably one of the reasons why I don't do it. You know, I don't want to come across like an idiot. I can't speak in front of a camera. You know, and I generally can't do it when I'm doing it myself. I can do it like this, no problem, but when I've got my own phone and looking at the camera and in public, I feel like a complete and utter.
So what
idiot,
changed
so-
exactly? Like what changes have you seen in yourself that have sort of allowed you to kind of step outside of your comfort zone?
Well, I just know like I've got a good following, you know, and obviously the numbers that are on there, they're following me because they're interested in me. So it's kind of good.
Your personality.
Yeah, so it's kind of good to sort of just show what I'm like as a person a wee bit more and sort of expose myself a wee bit more. And you know, these people are following me for a reason because they're interested in me, not only as a fighter, as a person and that as well. So it's good to kind of show myself a little bit. So that was the first sort of run of doing it the other day, and it was actually okay. I actually quite enjoyed it. By the end, I was getting sort of used to talking to the camera, but the first half of the day, I must have been taking about 50 takes, 60 takes, and doing 5 videos. You know, it was just like, and that's probably the reason why I didn't do it, because it's just I felt out of my comfort zone doing it. You know.
Now you know what it feels like to be a woman and trying to get that right angle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That right selfie. What was the reaction that or did you get a reaction?
Yeah,
from
it was
people
actually really positive. I got a lot of messages from a lot of people, you know, saying thanks for, you know, sort of posting what you're going about your day-to-day life, what it's like in training camp, and what you're like. You're showing a wee bit of your personality, your wee bit of your sort of sense of humour, and sort of that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was quite good. I got a lot of positive feedback from it, so I can see myself sort of maybe starting to do it a little bit more. But I'm not going to say I'm going to be a regular doing it all the time, but break myself in nice and gently and sort of maybe start doing it a wee bit more now, a wee bit more often. Yeah.
Do you have a TikTok account?
I don't. That's one thing I'm not into. I don't.
Could you imagine?
No, definitely
doing all
not.
the dances.
My mum's got one with the to be honest, and you know, she makes all sorts of videos. She makes people's laugh, but for me myself, I watch it and I just cringe, so I don't watch it. But yeah, my mum's pretty good on the TikTok.
You should do one. Do one at least.
Well, my partner and I were sort of doing it during lockdown a little bit, but we kept end up arguing with each other because we couldn't get it right and the timing right and this and that, so we just decided to knock it on the head and left it at that because we could never get the video right, so I was like, we'll just leave it.
Alright, so bit of a personal question, but I'm really curious, and I'm sure other people are curious. When it came down to this transition, when you were walking away from one promotional company and sort of in this limbo, I would imagine you didn't really know what was going to happen or how it was all going to go. Can you sort of talk or walk us down like what that experience was like for you?
What, leaving the last match? Well, really in the sort of general scheme of things, I just wasn't really happy with the way, you know, I was being treated, really, you know, personally and things like that, and other things going on behind the scenes that I don't really want to get into. I'm past it. I don't want to look behind. I'm moving forward now, you know. So, but it's just more. I just wasn't happy with the way things were going. I was always left feeling very, very frustrated, and you know, wondering what's going on and this and that, and not feeling part of my own team. You know, kind of a lot of the time. You know, in training camps, spending 90% of it on my own. You know, and getting left out of things, and you know, just didn't feel part of my own team. You know, didn't feel like I was in control my career, what I wanted to happen with me and this and that. So and I wasn't happy for a long time, so I just thought that was the end of it. You know, I couldn't be no happy any longer, so I thought, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to take control of my own career and go where I want to go and do what I want to do, and I think it's turned out for the best. I'm so much more happier now, more relaxed, and you know, I'm performing well in the gym, and hopefully you'll see next week that I'm performing well as well. So yeah, it's all positive. It's all positive, and but we're looking forward, not backwards. You know, it's just, I wasn't happy. Basically, in a nutshell, I wasn't happy, and I wanted to move forward and me being in control of my own career. You know, basically, and what was happening, what I could do, and what I couldn't do. That's what I wanted to do. You know. So
saying that you spent 90%, feeling as if you spent 90% by yourself, and here you are in an environment where you're surrounded by your stable mates. Yeah. You and Ben have a very close bond. What was that transition? Was it an easy transition for you, or was it like a bit weird at first? Or like?
No, but yeah, it was because I was thinking about leaving for a long time. You know, so it wasn't as if I just said, right, I'm off. What am I going to do? I kind of already was thinking about people and trainers and coaches, and believe it or not, I'm not just saying it because he's sitting here, but he was my first choice, because one of the biggest reasons was I watched him working with Billy Joe. Billy Joe's southpaw like myself, fast hands, good time, good feet work like myself, and very naturally gifted fighter, so. And I watched the way they were training, the kind of style they were doing on the pad works and this and that, and I just thought it would be a great style for me. It's kind of the way I fight, the kind of, my kind very similar kind of style. So I thought, that looks like it would really work. I'm going to try that first, and I come to my first call, and we clicked straight away. So near enough straight away, and it was brilliant. I've never looked back since. I think I had another week. I had sort of booked in 2 coaches, so I thought, but my mind was already made up after the first couple of sessions with Ben. I thought, no, this is going to work. But I had booked in another week with another coach, Adam Booth, and I'd done that as well. But I had to go with my first instinct, and it just clicked straight away. And so I'm glad that I did go. We had to see Adam as well, because it was another option. But my first choice was the best one, and we clicked straight away, and I'm very happy with what I did. So yeah, I had been thinking about it for a long time, so it wasn't just a random decision to make. I'd been thinking about it for a long time.
Well, I want to do random questions with you. Yeah?
No. I'm not very good at these.
So we don't know where it's going to go. One question could be serious, the next question could be, I don't know.
Right, let's
But are you ready for it?
I'm a bit nervous now.
Nah. Some boxing, some non-boxing, yeah? Okay. I'm going to read them out. Who is the messiest housemate?
Oh, it's without a doubt Leo. It's here. Without a doubt, Leo. He leaves bottles, this, that, everywhere. He's used to getting his backside wiped from, So yeah, it's definitely him. But he's a good lad to have around. Good laugh, good fun.
Every man, and every man, piece of cake.
Going into the pro grade fight, you were considered the underdog. Looking back, why do you think that was?
I don't know. I really don't know. Kind of my whole career, kind of almost been the underdog in all my fights, except for maybe the Harry Davis fight. But even in the amateurs and going to these tournaments and this and that, I was always kind of looked at as not a serious threat and this and that. But I think partly because Prograis was a bigger name at the time. He was more well known, especially over the pond. He was getting talked about as one of the best pound for pound fighters and this and that. And then there's little Josh Taylor. No one kind of really knows except for the boxing performances that I've put on. Me myself, I knew I was always going to win the fight. And the people around me, we knew that I was always going to win the fight, and I knew I was going to win the tournament before I even went in yet. So. I don't know why, you need to ask probably the general public about that, but I think maybe it's because he was maybe a little bit better known, yeah.
Alright. What's the top prank that Billy Joe Saunders has pulled on you?
Oh, I think you know this one already. When we were in Vegas, we had to come back for the lockdown, and Tom, his mate, was with us. There was me, Ben, myself, and Tom waiting at the airport, and Billy Joe's on the phone to his friend Tom. What time's your flight, and when is it, and this and that, and kept asking him. He says, when is it, and he's telling him. He's going, no, it's not, and he kept saying, like, no, it's not, and he's going, it is, look, and he kept saying, no, it's not, it's definitely not, and the next minute, we've got our names called up to go and board the flight, and we're walking up on the plane, and we just hear across the alley, can Mr. Tom Dillon come to the flight desk and that, please? And we've went on, and it's like, what is it? We've got ushered onto the plane, though. You keep going, but we've heard the guy over. Ben and I overheard the guy speaking at the desk. Are you feeling okay, sir? Are you alright? Your chest a bit tight and this and that. And he's going, no, I'm alright, mate. I'm okay. I'm alright, mate. And it's going, what's going on here? It's like, are you sure you haven't got COVID and this and that? We've had an anonymous phone call. You've got COVID.
The tight chest,
so,
isn't it?
yeah, the tight chest. Are you sure you haven't got a tight chest? Problems breathing and that? He's going, no, I'm fine. So me and Ben have twigged straight away what's happened. It's been Billy Joe. So we're laughing like hell walking down the plane. And,
Did you still make the flight?
Well, Ben and I sat on the plane, and we're laughing, sat there waiting on Tom coming on. We're like, what's happening? And the flight attendants weren't really happy because we were laughing. I think maybe we thought we were in on it, and we're like, are you travelling with the guy Tom? He says, yeah. He says, okay, so you need to come off the flight just now, and this flight's going to leave. You're going to have to get the next one. So I says, well, we're not getting on the flight. Like, yeah, you have to come back and this and that. And so we're like, alright, okay, so we've come off, and we've walked back into the airport lounge, and there's Tom way over in the end, surrounded by flight marshals and medics and this and that, and all tubed up and connected and getting tests.
All tubed up! Oh my god!
And he's sitting there raging, he's going, I'm fine, I've told you I'm fine, and this and that. And we've obviously pissed ourselves laughing, and he's phoned Billy Joe again, and Billy Joe's absolutely pissing himself laughing, and we got chucked off the flight, so that was the best prank ever. I think, who would even think of doing that?
Oh my god!
So we had to sort it out and get the next flight booked, and we just went back home to the house and spent the night, and then come back in the morning again. So put an extra.
That's probably used to it.
Put an extra 10 hours on our journey already, but no, it was quite a good one. I don't think that's going to take some beating to top that one, And
you're going to have to get creative with retaliation.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to beat that one. That was a good one, a really good one.
Oh my god, Bill has a few screws loose. All right. Okay, well, I guess we already talked about that. So I've heard that you like to have pedicures during camp. You haven't had one yet. Would you like to get one before the fight?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Maybe go to the barber shop and get away. Actually, I had got a facial and that done last week. I felt really pampered. First time in my whole life.
That was from Ben, by the way.
You prick.
I was like, it's like me asking you, do you want to go have
my nails done.
Yeah. You've said the dream is to fight at Edinburgh Castle one day. Mm-hmm. Would the pinnacle of your career be against Jose Ramirez for all the belts there? Would that be like...
Yeah, I think, in an ideal world that would be fantastic. That would be the icing on the cake, I think. Mm-hmm. It would be, for one, it would be huge for Scottish sport and Scottish boxing. Definitely once in a lifetime opportunity having a fight in an event up there. With obviously Scotland, with the fantastic tropical weather that we've got there, it would need to be in the summer, in the middle of the summer, just before the sort of Edinburgh Festival goes on. They put the big stand round the esplanade of the castle, and then obviously the ring in the middle, and at night, on a nice summer's night, the castle are lit up in the background, and the ring in the middle. You get a good I'd say a good 12 to 15,000 in there. Mm-hmm. But just the backdrop in the arena and the atmosphere, I think it would just be iconic. I think it would be once in a lifetime an event, and I really hope it one day a fight can happen. Can happen there, yeah, definitely.
Well, given you guys are both promoted by Top Rank and Aaron,
and that makes it a lot easier.
It makes it easier. Yeah. Hopefully, though, it won't be like a dispute over the location.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Listen, but at the end of the day, I will fight anywhere.
Yeah.
I've also got huge dreams to fight in America. Almost every other fighter dreams of seeing their name up in bright lights at the MGM Grand or Madison Square Garden, or in Vegas, So that's also a massive dream of mine as well. So if that fight didn't happen in Scotland, then it's sort of a tough kick at the ball. I've missed the ball, but but if it does happen, it can happen, then absolutely fantastic.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely.
Jose Ramirez has said But once I'm in there with you, obviously, I can see him respecting me more than I respect him.
Yeah, but we'll
What are
soon
your
see
thoughts?
about that. Yeah, we'll soon see about that. I think he's obviously discrediting me a little bit there, but we'll need to see that when we come to it. When we cross that bridge when we come to it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe potential opponents one day. Who knows if either of them move up? Vasily Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. What's your prediction?
I don't know. The two of them are very good fighters. I see Lomachenko just edging that. I just think his he gets called the Matrix, don't he? I just think his angles and his footwork and his timing is so unusual and one off. You know, it's hard to get someone in sparring to replicate that style. You're never going to see it, well, ever again. I don't think. You know, so I think it's very hard to try and get someone to emulate what he does moves wise and styles and angles and that. So, but having said that, Lopez is a great fighter as well. You know, he's very good, showing what he can do too. So I think it's a very good fight, but I edge Lomachenko to win that.
When speaking to your team, obviously your promoter, will the aim to be to wait until crowds are back for the undisputed fight?
Yeah, I think so. It's got to be, you know. Yeah, I think, you know, it'd be like bursting the balloon, you know, if getting these dream fights, and then for them to happen behind closed doors, it's just bursting the balloon.
To be honest, that's kind of how I feel about Lomachenko and Teofimo
Yeah, you know,
Lopez.
getting these
Like
massive fights.
you wish you could be there for something like that.
Yeah, 100%. It takes away from the event, the wow factor, the magnitude of the fight itself. With not having the fans there, it just takes all that away. You know, it's not going to be a memorable event then. You know, it might be a memorable fight, but a memorable event and sporting times, then not really with the fans on there. You know, the fans is what makes the sport and makes the experience of the whole thing. You know, so like me myself winning that fight with Progress and Baranchek, the fans made that event. So I remember the nights for the rest of my life, and there's certain details that I remember of the night, of the fans and this and that will stick with me for the rest of my life, you know. So I definitely think that's got to happen, you know. I would be keen for waiting for fans to come back if that was the case for that fight, you know.
Right.
No?
We've already got kind of it was, what's your favorite TikTok dance? But we've already
I've already done
that
that one, yeah.
Do you have any pre-fight rituals?
Not really. I come in, I lay all my fight kit out, my robe, my shorts, my boots and my fight socks, and put them on the couch and just sit there, and I always put my left foot on, always put my left foot on and my left glove on. That's about it. That's about it, really.
He's like, no, but what I do is...
that's about it. I always put my left foot on and my left glove on for sure.
If you feel like if you don't do that, you feel off.
No, not really, but I just always do it for some reason. I think maybe because
okay.
I'm left-handed.
Yeah.
I always put my left glove on first.
Do you know what's funny?
And wear white boots. That's one you could say. Yeah, I've always got to wear white boots.
Yeah.
For some reason, make me feel faster. You know, a wee bit more quicker and sharper. You know, I had one fight when I was amateur in the Commonwealth Games, and I had a blue kit and the red kit, obviously. But with the blue kit, I had a pair of blue Nike boots, and in my first fight, I put them on, and I won the fight, but I didn't feel I performed terribly well. Like I thought quite crap, you know.
Yeah.
Jeez, you know, but I thought, you know, as soon as after that fight was done, I took the blue boots and chucked them out and put the white boots back on. So
yeah.
I've always got to have the white boots on. That's
Okay.
about the only one.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm lefty as well, and I do everything with my right hand except right with my left.
Oh really?
Everything's right. Like if
I
you put me in
I
the
play
ring.
golf right-handed. That's about it.
Yeah.
Everything else left-handed.
If you put me in the ring, I would stand like orthodox, not
yeah.
southpaw. It feels weird to stand southpaw. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
a lot
don't
of
know
people
what
are
it
like
is.
that, yeah.
What do you call that? It's like, is it ambidextrous or something like
That's
that?
when you can do both hands.
Ambidextrous.
That's when you
Yeah.
can do both hands in it. Ambidextrous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, I don't know what you call that.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there.
You play golf, can you?
A little bit. I can hit a ball, that's about it.
Not play snooker.
Neither can you. As a snooker player keeps getting beat.
I'd won.
Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Obviously, we're now hearing
Yeah.
that.
It might happen, yeah.
Well, we're now hearing that the trilogy with Wilder is likely happening, but I know for a minute there we didn't know if it was going to.
I favour Fury. I don't think anybody can outbox him. At boxing, I don't think anybody can get near him in the heavyweight division. But you know, Anthony Joshua is very good combination puncher, very strong, carries his power right the way through as well. Mid to short range, very effective. But long range boxing, he's quite easily outboxed and outmanoeuvred. So I think if that's Fury's fight to lose, if he stands and decides to have a go, it becomes very dangerous and very tough. So I think on boxing, I think just Fury wins that one. But it's a very, very interesting fight.
Yeah. Do you mind handing me my phone, please? It's up to you. But Ramirez's manager had something he wanted to say to you. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, go on.
It's quite long from Rick. Do you want to read it yourself, or do you want me to read it to you? Because it's quite long, and then I'll just put this on the camera so people can see. All right, so.
Get on and read it, Josh.
What?
Get on and read it. Let's
I
hear
reckon
it.
I reckon leave it. Because he's got a job ahead of him first.
Okay, so don't read it.
Well, I just read the first line there. He's so sick and tired of Taylor's constant disrespect. He's one to fucking talk, but anyway.
No?
Move that forward, yeah.
All right, well, we'll put it on the screen for anyone who's curious, but maybe
Or you can save that one.
Yeah, I'll save it.
Yeah, save that one
We'll
for
save
after,
it.
yeah.
Post fight. All right, Rick, it's gonna have to wait.
What the fuck's he on about?
Mine's on Khongsong, never mind what it is.
All right.
Big nose prick.
Listen to your trainer.
Oh wait, I already have. This was like almost like a replica of your question. Is it true that you and Leo go for pedicures together? All right. Who is it Bance?
Best banter.
Yeah.
In the
Okay.
house.
Who is the best Bance in the house?
Anton.
Oh, don't know, they're all got pretty crap banter. They're all got pretty crap. Nah, I'd say Leo's got good banter. He's good at winding folk up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and you up here, wee man.
That's not what you asked him.
Not so good at doing a Scottish accent, but he's trying. He gives it his God loves a tryer. But nah, yeah, Leo's quite funny.
Leo?
Has the best
Alright.
banter.
And last but not least, I guess this is a good one. Can you do a strong impersonation of anyone?
Leo.
Trying to think. No, I've been trying to do
Yeah, Terry, you can do a blind.
I can do Terry. My coach Terry McCormack. You know, you'd need to
know him.
You need to know him to do it because I can do it bang on. So when you meet him next week, you'll see it and I'll do it then. You know, it's he's good at it and he's funny. He's funny, like he's a funny man. So I'll do that next week when you.
But I'm not there next week.
Oh, you're not.
What's it now, Josh?
You can't do it now because it's no good.
Or someone else? Is there anyone else?
No, no, really, just folks' accents and stuff like that. If I can hear someone's accent.
All right, do this. Do your
With my
best
jacket.
American accent.
Trainer.
Because I can't do a Scottish one.
Right, right, where can I try to think of now? Fuck, nah, I can't think of it on the top of my head. No, I can't do it.
Can't do it.
Do it later. Can't do it. Can't do it.
No.
No.
You want to try it? You can
Yeah,
just
no, I'm
repeat
not trying.
after me.
I'll leave
Joe,
it
he's good.
I'll
He's
try
good
and
off
copy
the
it.
bat with like. He's good off the bat of something from a film.
Yeah, see, it's like I'm good at doing like films and like sort of like lines from films and folks' accents and stuff like that.
But it's
I
like
can't
off
just
the
do it when
bat.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
What's that one by Scarface? Is it Scarface?
Tony Montana.
Yeah, I can do that one as
Tony
well.
Montana!
But you know, I can only do it when I'm off the bat. I can't do it
Okay.
if somebody goes, "I'll go and do it." Once I start doing it, I can roll them off.
You know, as long as I've been in the UK, I cannot do a fucking impression for the life of me.
No, still can't do a British accent.
Still can't do a British accent. I end up going off like, you know, like when you're almost joking, like, hello, mate. And it's like, nobody sounds like that.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah.
No one sounds like that. But I
You
yeah,
got
I
your power
can't
button
do
on the
either.
back.
So.
Just press that.
Well, you know what? Sadly, due
Just
to
press it.
COVID, I
You
won't
gotta
be there
press it.
next week.
Just press it.
Oh well, that's not so good.
So I do appreciate you giving me the time to interview you now and be here in your casa.
Yeah, no problem. It's been good having you, and it wasn't too painful with the questions.
Yeah,
so that was all
I
good.
eased up a little bit. You know, I know you have a girlfriend, so I didn't want to go there too much. You know what I mean?
Oh, she-
Oh,
she's alright.
You know, the lad questions. No, but thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem at
Is
all.
there anything we did not cover that you want to maybe say? Has
No,
there been
I
a,
just
what's
think
a, is
that's
there a
it,
question
you know?
that no one's asked you yet that you want to
Do you
be
know,
asked?
Mel actually asked me this the other day, and
Yeah?
do you know what? I can't really think of anything. You know, it's just if it comes my way, it comes my way. I'll take it as it comes. You know, kind of sort of thing. But yeah, no.
Well, when
no
you're
really.
ready for the Ramirez chatting shit stuff, let me know.
Yeah, as soon as this fight's done, show me that message, and then we'll get
we're
straight on
gonna
it.
we'll talk about that. And
Or
I'll
you can
get
organise a fight between me and Rick. If you want. So that would be quite good.
Do Ramirez understand your accent though?
Yeah, that's on the
You get a bit of beef.
Need a translator. Stand going like that.
Well, thank you again. I appreciate it, and hopefully I'll speak to you soon after your fight against Khongsong. September the 26th, live on BT Sport and ESPN Plus in America. You guys don't want to miss it.
And still,
And still, that's correct.
fucking champ, yeah? Fucking champ.
Go on, Leo.
Bye, fight fans.
Fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else.